Is your dog out of control like this? Holy cow. This is not a fun walk right here. And you can imagine trying to walk this dog around the neighborhood. He's pulling everywhere, going crazy. This is gonna put a lot of strain on you, your body, your mind, a lot of strain on your dog. So we need to fix this. And we're gonna fix this by doing some loose leash walking teaching today. All right, so we're gonna go through everything this dog needs to get him on the right track as quickly as possible. And hopefully you can take some value away from this. So stick around, we'll see how he does. So if you've watched some of our videos before, you know that ideally we're gonna start our training with engagement. We've got this dog, good. We'll see if he's able to engage. I've got a feeling just based on my experience that he's gonna give me a little bit of difficulty in engaging to the level that we need, good, to get him walking on a loose leash. So for engagement, all we do, we've got the dog, right? We've got some high value food rewards. Whenever the dog gives us attention, we say good, we move around, right? After every repetition. So I take a couple steps to one side. If he looks at me, I'm gonna say good, give him a food reward. Good, just like this. Take a couple steps. I use the leash to limit where he's going. I'm not gonna allow him to pull me anymore because now we're fully addressing the leash pulling behavior. So we say good, we give him a reward. Another option is if he looks at us, we say yes, we back up. Now he can chase us a little bit for the reward, okay? Wait for him to look at us, yes. The reason why we would say yes is to increase his motivation to pay attention to us, yes. Versus we say good, we just hand him the piece of food. So as time goes on, good. When we say good, that means keep doing what you're doing, but don't move, for example, or stay in that position. When we say yes, that means you can release from the position. Clyde, yes. You can release from the position and come to me for a food reward, all right? So he's actually doing pretty well with the engagement. So we'll give him a second here. Yes. Make sure you do enough repetitions of this so that he is starting to pay attention to you more than things going on around you. Good. If you do that, if that happens where he looks at you, then he looks away before you can reward. Don't just take it to him and give it to him. Let him do his thing. Good. Then when he comes back to check in, then you reward him again. If your dog jumps up at you like that, this dude's obviously super athletic. If he jumps up at you like that, right now we're ignoring that. We don't want to reward any jumping. You can pull him down with the leash if that keeps happening. All right, let me see if I can start doing some luring because the engagement seems decent. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just lure him to my left side, like so. I bring the food in my hand, I show it to his nose, bring it to my left side, take a couple steps. Good, he's doing pretty good here. I like that. So right here, one thing I do, I bring my left leg back first, then I bring my food lure back. There we go. Then I turn him into my leg, take a couple steps, good reward. If you need to break this down a little bit further for your dog, if your dog's right here in front of you like this, they start coming to your left side like so, yes, right? You don't have to do a full lure to your left side. You can start rewarding just for, you know, kind of coming this way without doing the full turnaround, right? Right here. See how he's kind of coming off the lure? So let me try something real quick. Good. Let me show him the lure. Yes. If your dog's coming off the lure like he was coming off, first I try to reward a little bit shorter during the lure. Good. Like that. Or if he happens to be next to you, you can reward him right here. But I also want him to be good about moving from in front of me to beside me, which is a longer lure, right? So if you can't sustain his attention for that longer lure right there, then you could just lure him either when he's coming to your left side or if he happens to be on your left side. So see how his engagement's kind of falling off right now? He's wanting to pay attention to me less and less. Good. Good. He's able to get a little bit of a lure in right there. I can use the leash to help get him to this side over here too. Yes. Good boy. Anything to keep him excited, having a good time is going to be beneficial. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. The jumping, we're not going to reward that, obviously. He's getting a little excited and he likes to jump. He is pretty athletic. Good. So I'm kind of mixing in a little bit of engagement with the luring. He's getting distracted by some noises in the background. So Obviously the engagement's not high enough for him to ignore some noises that are going on around me and still pay attention to me, right? The noises are kind of distracting him, like there's some construction going on over there. So the noises are kind of distracting him, so we'll see what we can do here, okay? So we've done a little bit of engagement. We've done some luring, some basic luring to our left side. Now let's see if we can get a little bit of walking in with a lure, okay? So basically what I'll do here is I'll start walking in a straight line if possible. See how he goes off like that? I'm just gonna hold the leash with the unbreakable grip, turn, walk the other way. I'm not going to allow him to pull me anymore, okay? Because remember, whatever your dog practices is what they will continue to do. If he comes up and shows me some attention, then I'll see if I can lure and reward him, but notice how his attention's basically going away. Like he's starting to show me less and less attention. The luring, the engagement isn't enticing enough for him. He'd rather, you know, blow me off, look around, but also we can't just let him pull us around because that's not good for us, not good for him. We got to get some work done. We got to get some leash work here so we can get some kind of progress to make the leash walking easier. Now, even though we're doing that, even though we're kind of doing some work outside of our food lures and everything, that's totally fine, but we will attempt to reward him as time goes on and lure him as time goes on. Now, one thing I'm doing, you may have noticed, I'm using the leash to try and keep him on the left side of my body right here. See how he goes ahead of me right here? I'll just turn, boom, right here. I'm keeping the leash on the left side of my body right here, keeping him on the left side of my body because that's where we're gonna be walking, right? Long term, we want him walking on the left side of our body. So I want him practicing being on this side of my body. So if the luring's not working, usually I'll do the back and forth walking like I've been doing, where you walk in a straight line, you turn, you hold on to the leash, you use the leash to help him come back to you. He blows past you again, you turn, right? You hold on to the leash, you keep moving, but see how he keeps blowing past me? It doesn't really matter that much to him. So now we're gonna try a right turning box drill. So what I do is in my head, I imagine that there's a box on the ground and I'm gonna be walking along that box doing right turns at every corner of the box. And the reason why I'm doing that is because the right turn helps keep him to the left side of my body. So if I just start right here, I start walking using the leash to help me. If he shows me any kind of attention, here's a right turn right here. Good, I can use the leash to kind of help me. If he shows me any attention, I can obviously reward him, and I will, right? But I want to keep him from just taking off on me, so I right turn right here. So this helps sometimes with some dogs. Good, notice how he just looked at me. See if he wants some food here, good. So if you start showing me some more attention here, then I can do some more rewarding, which is what I would prefer to do. But I got to get some work done with this dog because his pulling is just insane. Right turn. Good. Let the leash do the work for you. Don't put a lot of energy into this. Glad. See if he wants a piece of food right here. Good boy. Use the leash to keep him on your left side. Right turn right here. Notice how when I right turn, I just kind of tuck this leash into my waist right here. And I let the leash do the work for me. Okay? Good. We are using a First Saver training collar and a signature canine leather leash, and I'll have links to both of these pieces of equipment in the description below if you guys want to try them out. Good, so he's not really like pulling ahead of me. He's more off to the side and behind me at this point, but I'm going to do this for a few more minutes just to kind of get him into the pattern of following me and the real purpose. Good, notice how he did a little muzzle nudge on my hand. Good, good. Reward that if you can. But the real reason why we want to do the box drill when we're having some difficulties like we were is because the box drill helps him learn to follow you throughout this process, right? So he's already showing that he's kind of learning that. So it might seem kind of redundant just walking in a square, right? Imaginary square in the ground, right? But trust me, repetitions are going to help you with this. We just got to get him to the point where he can walk on a loose leash, at least around the neighborhood, just to start as we keep working on his training. See how he's following me? He's not pulling. He's generally staying on my left side. Of course, these turns, he's not really paying attention to me, right? So when we turn, that's when he hits the end of the leash. Good boy. Let me try something here. Good, I'm gonna see if I can lure him through a turn. Good, okay. You stay with me on that one. Clyde. Right here, do a left or right turn. Good, see how he's staying with me with the lure now? Good, so he's doing a little bit better. Clyde. Very externally focused still. Good. Good. So the turns are getting a little bit better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can walk in a straight line a little bit longer. Okay. So right here, my box has been, you know, maybe 10 feet or so. Now I'm going to go a little bit longer, see if he can sustain being next to me. Let me do a turn right here. Notice I'm just holding the leash right here in the heel grip. He's on my left side. He does that right there. That's the problem when he wants to take off. But actually he came back a little bit. That's kind of, so right here I'm just going to turn. Boom. Come on, buddy. Good boy. Get my heel grip back. Get my lure back if he's going to follow me. Good. That was pretty good. So we're using kind of a hybrid here. We're using the leash to help us, and we're using some lures, which for a dog like this, super energetic. He's kind of into the food, halfy into the food, right? But we got to get him good walking, so use a little bit of a hybrid here just to get him going. Good boy. I'm in this park right here by this apartment complex, and I'm noticing this walking trail is just a big circle. So I'm actually going to see if I can walk this trail real quick before we go back into the like through the apartment complex areas. Here we go. Good boy. Let me follow the same. So if he goes off like this is obviously a problem. So what I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to slide down the leash and use the leash to help bring him to my left side, like so. Come here, buddy. Good. Good. See if he'll take some food. Nope. Nope. Blow me off again. All right. So, all right. So let's see what's going to happen here. Let me try this again. See what we need to do here. I'm going to try a little bit of leash correction if he's going ahead. See if I can get his attention. See how that's not, he's not giving me any attention when I give him a light leash tug. Okay, we were able to recover that a little bit. But the main thing is I don't want him to practice pulling. I don't want him to practice doing this right here. So I gotta come up with a way to stop that. So first, I try to bring him back right here. If for a dog that's taking food really good, I can usually lure him for a while, but notice how he's just blowing me off with the food. The walking itself, like the box drills and everything, good boy. When we're doing a drill, he's fine. But as soon as we start trying to do like a regular walk, he's struggling, right? He's struggling. He's going all over the place. So right here, slide down this leash, bring him back. See if I do this a couple times if he'll kind of get the idea here. Nope, nope, he's just blowing me off, right? Right here. Good boy. Bring him back. It's going to my right side, so I just use the leash to bring him here. Good boy. Nope. Nope. All right, so these leash tugs are not helping, right? Ideally, I tug the leash before he goes ahead. That way I can stop him from going ahead of me. He's not pulling as hard as he was, but he's still just blowing me off here. So right here, when he goes right there, that's the problem. So let me put the leash in my left hand, left grip right here. See if I can do some tugs right here. Now, when you have the leash in your left grip, you obviously don't have the option to use your food lures if you lure like I do, because we use the left hand for luring. So he's doing okay, right? I am having to tug quite a bit, which is not ideal. But that's also probably because the first saver collar is just not enough of a stimulation to him, a correction to him, so that he wants to stay back with me, right? See how he's kind of pulling, right? He's starting to get a little bit unruly again. So I'm going to break out another training tool real quick that I have with me because I thought that we might need it in this case. That's a prong collar. This is a medium prong collar. We do have a video on our YouTube on how to fit a prong collar, the different prong collar options. But this is a medium prong collar. So what I'm going to do is just put this on him to help be a little bit more significant for him than the fur saver. Okay, so I just put that above the fur saver. Come over here real quick. I put that above the fur saver. And then one thing you do want to do with the prong collar is you want to keep your leash clipped to the fur saver. You just clip the prong collar on there. So you've actually got the fur saver and the prong collar attached at the same time. And the reason for that is sometimes these prong collars will actually come apart. These links will actually come apart. And so you don't want your leash only on the prong collar, because if it comes apart, it's not going to be beneficial for you. All right, so when you first put a prong collar on a dog, if they've never had one on before, I don't know if he has or not, you don't just want to start, pulling really hard on it. You want to do some light tugs just to get them used to the new sensation. And I usually will still be doing my food work, right, as much as I can, okay? So let's start walking here. So right here, got the leash in my left hand, using the prong collar instead of the fur saver. He seems to be responding to that a little bit better. Good boy. A little bit better, right? So I don't use the prong collar a lot, but there are certain cases where it is beneficial. I think this dog is a very good use case for it. And generally when I'm using a prong collar, I will use it for a period of time, and then as soon as I am basically done with the prong collar, I'll stop using it. So over here we got this like amphitheater thing in this park that we're at. Good. So I'm trying to keep my leash as loose as possible, but just give him some feedback if he's going out of position. So he seems to be responding pretty well to the prong collar. I'm walking fairly easily, still having to give some leash communication here. Good. Good, but see how he's definitely responding to it better than the fur saver. So this is a good use case for a prong collar for probably 2 days during our sessions, during our walks, and then we'll be done with it. See how he's going ahead right here? So right here, I'll just bring him right back to my left side. So if he tries to go ahead of me, use the prong collar to help me help him. Stay on my left side. Good. The main thing is, don't let your dog practice things that are going to be working against you. All right, let me go ahead and slow down here. I haven't done any sit work with him. I don't know if he knows that from the past. Clyde, sit. Let's see, okay, he knows how to sit, good. So let me just hang out, let him calm down for a second. Okay, he's not able to do that. Clyde, sit. So right here, got my food lure out. Sit. Good boy. He knows how to paw, obviously. He's throwing his paw up, but he can't sit still for a couple seconds. I'm not going to push him on that. We'll just keep walking a little bit. So let's do a box drill now that we have the prong collar on. Let's see if we can do that to help us a little bit here. Nope. Good. Notice I bring him to my left side again with the leash. Good. Do my box drill with the prong collar. Nope. Good. Nope. 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 Good. Box drill going to the right here. Good. So, this will happen a lot. When you're doing the box drill, he's pretty decent, but whenever you start taking like an actual walk, he's giving you a hard time. Good. Right here. Let me just turn this way. Boom. Do a quick back and forth. So you're going to use all these methods if you have a dog like this. You have to use all these methods, play around to see what's working with you at the time, but keep your overall goal in mind of we're trying to get a loose leash walk in, right? We don't want him pulling on the leash. We don't expect perfect heel position or anything. We'll focus more on that later, but we do want a nice loose leash walk with you generally on our left side like this. This is not bad. Nope. So a dog like this, you might do box drills the majority of the time, and then a couple walks through the neighborhood or the apartment or wherever you live or the park, and do that some of the time. And as the behavior gets better, you can focus more on walking, less on box drills. So let's walk down this path right here back toward the apartment complex. See how he does. Nope. Nope. Good. Now if he just takes off on me like this, I'm just going to turn real quick, bring him back to my left side. I'll turn again, use the leash to my advantage, kind of like that. But ideally, timing wise, if he starts to go on me, I time my leash tug like this to stop him before he can just take off on me, right? Ideally. So this is not bad, right? Way better than he was. It takes time to work on this and make it more of a habit, right? If he does that, we can just use the leash to bring him back to our left side. Got a little excited. You just don't want him practicing pulling you, right? So if he does that and you're able to stop him and get him back to a relatively loose leash walking position, you're looking good. So I would do a walk like this, where I'm doing a little bit of leash tugging, right? See how he's going ahead of me. Again, it's not perfect heel position right now. We're just trying to get these basics in and make walking a little bit easier. But if he takes off on me, I'll just do this, boom, walk this way, couple steps. Once he's back with me, then I can turn again, use the leash to keep him on my left side. Try to correct him before he takes off on me. I can always stop too, slide down this leash, use the leash to bring him to my left side. So the whole thing is you're trying to formulate the whole walk into being beneficial for you. Let's go this way. Good, good. And you know it's better for him too, obviously, if he's not pulling the leash. It's got to hurt your neck and everything. See how he's fighting it. He wants to take off because that's what he's used to doing. I'm gonna have to turn around here in a second, I think, because he's just fighting. So let me turn this way, come back like this. Good boy. Then I'll do another turn, come back this way. Use the leash to keep him on my left side. Good, good. Clyde, see if he wants some food. Clyde, boy, just has a heart. He's like, no food, I'm too busy looking around and sniffing. But this is pretty good, right? This right here, he isn't even bad. But I already know he wants to take off on me, so I'm gonna stop, slide down, bring him right back. Once he's back with me, then we can start moving. A lot of people, when they're doing this, they start getting rushed. They think because their dog's walking faster that they have to walk faster. That's not the case. Your dog has to learn to actually walk with you, pay attention to you, versus try to control the walk. So just slow down, take your time, focus on the loose leash. See how he wants to do this, right? Good, right here, like so. Good. So that's why I say this dog right here, mostly box drills for a couple days, and then focus more on actual walking. Let's walk back this way. Good. Good, so not too bad. Now he's wanting to go ahead a little bit. Nope. Nope. Good. All right, guys, so we've been working with Clyde now for about 30, maybe 40 minutes. There's still a lot of work left to do. Obviously, he's doing a lot better with his leash pulling, but the reason for this video is to give you a bunch of tips, tricks, and techniques that you can use with your leash walking with a dog like Clyde, right? Who's started taking food at the beginning, but then stopped taking food. We had to do some back and forth walking. We had to use a prong collar. We had to do some box drills. So all these are techniques that you can try to utilize with your dog to get some results quick and keep working on them consistently over time. And if you want to learn more about the prong collar, fitment, selection, usage, all of the above, check out this video right here. We'll see you there.